without further ado, let's give it up for Mary Connolly, who's the founder of Mary's Jane.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. Hello, Los Angeles, Blunt Talk, CBD Marketplace. How exciting is this? What a different scenario that we're all in, that we all get to sit here with chandeliers above our heads in a nice, comfortable marketplace environment and talk about the compound CBD, right? It's a new space for us. It's a new thing. And I want to start off by a small disclaimer. Anything that I say or anything or any of the information or any of the facts that I'm about to talk about, none of them have been regulated by the FDA. Actually, nothing I'm about to say has been regulated by anybody. So, ultimately, this is just an opportunity for me to give the experience of learning what this compound CBD is from an entrepreneur's perspective. I am the owner of Mary's Jane. We did start on the THC side about 4 years ago, and we all kind of knew a little bit more about THC, correct? So it's fall 2016. I'm doing what I normally do at that time. I'm communing with a group of sisters, of women, a tribe of women that I've known for years, and we're going to engage in what's called trim season. We're going to sit with scissors, we're going to sit with buckets, we're going to wake up, some of us at 5, others at 9, others at noon, and we're going to, for the next 12 to 24 hours, trim as much as we can, and we'll get $125 per pound that we can trim, and the remaining trim that we get, I actually get to take, go home, break down, and create amazing potions and elixirs for people to be able to try and use and engage in this plant. Well, 2017 comes, Prop 64 makes cannabis legal for 21-year-old adults and older to be able to possess it and to be able to buy it. And it starts to lay the groundwork for businesses in the legal realm of this. And the interesting part of this whole, organic growth of this is something that went from meeting with this commune of women every year at a house that I was familiar with and plants that I was familiar with started to become illegal, right? And getting in a car and driving down to Lake Elsinore and meeting a man I'd never met and buying a kilo of white powder was legal. And it was interesting from an entrepreneur's point of view, just kind of the mindset of this. So what is CBD? Right? What is it? It's a compound. What's a compound? A compound is a group of molecules, right? Am I doing this right? Anybody can correct me here. Remember, there's disclaimers here. And I even brought notes so I don't mess it up too much. But ultimately, CBD is a cannabinoid. It's a cannabinoid within the cannabis plant, and a cannabinoid is a compound. A compound is a group of molecules, right? So cannabinoids are specifically within, these molecules are specifically in the cannabis plant. Some of the ones we are most familiar with, Delta-9, CBG, CBD, CBDN, THCA, THCV, THCA. So how do these molecules relate to us? And they relate to us in our endocannabinoid system, right? Does that to anybody else sound like that's a system in our body that absorbs and processes a whole bunch of THC all the time for us? Does that not, does an endocannabinoid system not sound like a system, right, that we can just kind of tap the lever and, we get as high as we want, or, tap the other lever and it processes it? And it's not. The endocannabinoid system is our endocrine system. It's our nervous system. I'm not going to get too deep here because of the disclaimer I mentioned prior. I just want to keep it high level. But it's our nervous system. It's what we feel. It's how we feel heat. It's how we feel cold. It's our sensations. It's the way that we feel. And so ultimately, we're putting cannabinoids in our systems that react to this endocannabinoid system. Can anybody else name another cannabinoid that maybe doesn't sound like THC or CBD? Can anybody name a cannabinoid that, look, CBT, okay. Also, nicotine. Nicotine is a cannabinoid, right? So cannabinoids are not necessarily having to relate with specifically THC or CBD. What we're talking about now is our nervous system, our endocrine system. So to wrap it up, our endocannabinoid system is a way that we can create homeostasis within our bodies. It's a way we can ensure that our calming feelings feel calm, right? The things that it relates to or hits directly is acne, anxiety, arthritis, depression, nausea, muscle spasms, nerve-related pain, and etc. So ultimately, we have this system in our bodies that help us create a way of feeling homeostasis. And now we are in a room with chandeliers and intelligent people, and we get to say, how do we reach homeostasis? So I'm not a doctor, luckily for all of you. But a couple of the ways that we can do it is this, and this will be short. Ultimately, we can take hemp and or cannabis. Hemp has high levels of CBD, low levels of THC. Cannabis has high levels of THC, low levels of CBD. You can take a hemp plant, you can melt it down. That's going to give you so many different forms of molecules to use. You can put that in your system. It's going to help whether you put it under your tongue and it gets in your system altogether, or whether you put it in a hot bath and soak it into your system. Ultimately, you're allowing these compounds to come in to create homeostasis. Where maybe you have anxiety, you can now put some CBD in your system. It will go ahead and counteract that anxiety and give you some relaxation. Best things I can leave you with are this. For people who are a little bit hesitant about trying anything that sounds like cannabis, in terms of what might show up on a drug test or how others, may perceive you, the cleanest form of CBD you can possibly get into your system is an isolated version of it. So go into this with an CBD isolate. You know that if you are to pull a CBD isolate, that you are not having any type of risk whatsoever of bringing in any other type of molecule or compound of THC, THCA, or anything that is drug related. Try it first exteriorly, right? Put it in a hot bath, put it on your body in the form of a lotion or a balm. Start with about 20 milligrams to 100 milligrams on your body. And once that isolate in your system creates some form of homeostasis, you can go ahead and start to experiment with other forms of CBD. You can go outside and learn exactly what all those different forms of it is. I hope that little short synopsis gives you a small foundation of why you're putting any of this into your system, what it's doing within your system, and how to get there. And I think that would be it that I have for you guys today. Do know this with CBD, the endocannabinoid system, it's very soft to it. So you cannot overdose CBD. You cannot put too much of it into your system. So it's just really the healthiest, safest way for us to really put our feet within this wonderful industry of cannabis. Again, my name is Mary. I'm with Mary's Jane. Thank you so much. Questions?
Sorry to cut the applause short. Does anybody have any questions for Mary?
I have a question.
What's up?
How long have you been running your own business, Mary?
I've been running my own business for a little over 3 years.
What's your most popular product?
My most popular product is the Face and Body Balm. Put it on our face, all over our bodies, as well as a menstrual roll-on. Regulates hormones and takes inflammation out of the abdomen. What's the largest challenge for my business? The largest challenge for my business is merchant servicing. And being able to have other businesses, larger retail, have access to sell hemp and CBD through their merchant servicers as well. You don't tell them that it is a CBD and hemp product. You simply say it's a face and body balm, a black coffee skin scrub, and a lavender Epsom soak. Great question. What interests me to getting into the business? I guess I would pull on the beginning of the story, some of that tribalness, the community surrounding it. Cannabis in general has been a very effective tool for me in my life, whether I'm smoking it or whether I am bathing in it, whether I'm healing something like a burn or a sore muscle. I got into cannabis to heal childhood trauma. and I created other products for people to try so that they could engage in that calming, relaxing, self-healing right at home. We don't have to go anywhere else to create healing. It's only within ourselves that we'll be able to do it. Sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That was awesome.